Thursday, October 9th. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geeknights. Tonight, sandwiches.
Let's do this.
So, tomorrow night, we're actually going to go see The Amazing Randy.
Oh, right. I almost completely forgot about that. You know where it is?
I have no idea.
It's at Rockefeller University.
Oh, great. Okay.
Rockefeller for the win.
I get out of
Randy
work at
for
like
the win.
4, so I got plenty of time to go get dinner.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, like, I don't have very high expectations. I mean, Randy is someone that I've admired, for many a year now. He sort of took me from I was skeptical to, oh, that's what I am. I'm like that cranky old guy, only less old. But
not quite as jolly, though.
No, not quite as jolly.
It's amazing how, everyone kind of has this image of him as being like the most curmudgeon that ever lived.
He is. He alternates.
But at the same time, he's super jovial and hilarious all the time.
Well, think about that. Exactly half the time, he is curmudgeonly of all curmudgeons, and the other half of the time, he is jolly of all jollies. Completely unbalanced.
But he's jolly.
But that's why he's awesome.
While he's being the curmudgeon. I mean,
I don't know how that works, but it does.
Because he's being the curmudgeon. He's basically saying, all right, kids, your homeopathy doesn't work at all. But yet, he's hilarious the whole time he's telling you it doesn't work.
Right, because he's simultaneously angry that these scam artists are pulling these shit, but he's simultaneously laughing at how ludicrous the shit they're pulling is. He's like, look, this is so ludicrous. But at the same time, he's crying because, people believe this ludicrous shit. Oh, my God.
My favorite thing is still when he stood before Congress and ate, 1 million homeopathic sleeping pills to point out that they're just BS.
And it didn't do anything.
He said he got a stomach ache because he basically ate a stomach full of sugar pills.
Well, yeah, those things also have nasty tasting shit in them. Like, they put all sorts of chemicals in there to make you think it's medicine and whatnot.
Well, no, that's just basically what pills are made out of.
Well, no, it's like when you open one, I've seen these things before, like the Achinalcums at least, right? The Achinalcum, whatever. I can't even pronounce the fucking thing.
Vitamins and most other pills look the same way. Usually...
No. Achinalcum comes in a plastic tube, right?
Yes.
You open the plastic tube, and there's this liquid in there, and there's some pill floating in the liquid. You're supposed to down the whole thing, but the liquid is like some nasty acid. It's not harmful, but it just tastes like shit.
Well, Scott, usually
the pill is just sugar.
Usually all
calcium.
of those things, remember, there's the active ingredients and the inactive ingredients.
All of the ingredients are inactive.
Well, yes, but in real medicine, the inactive ingredients sometimes are like a solvent or a base, or they're just there to kind of keep the thing together.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the homeopathy medicine specifically. They put nasty things in there that taste bad. Anyway, right, so we're going to see Randy tomorrow, and to be honest, I'm not that excited. I'm sort of going just so I can see this man while he lives.
Granted, partly because he's kind of old and I worry that he might die before I get to see him.
Well, he did have a heart attack recently, but he came right back and he's still rocking. But at the same time,
we could always just go to the amazing meeting.
We could. I think we should at some point.
I want to.
Yeah, but the thing is...
Maybe we could speak at it.
Maybe. Every time...
Google thinks... I'm just going to interrupt you all night. Google seems to lump us in with atheist spirituality, among other things.
Great. Every time Randy gives a speech or something, it's like he doesn't have new material, is the thing.
Well, when has there been a scientific or cultural development in homeopathy? I mean, we've known it was BS forever.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
it's
chiropractic. It's like chiropractic was made up by a scam artist who was a known scam artist back in the day. Everyone knew he was a scam artist. To this day, we all know he's a scam artist and that he made it up out of nothing. And yet people still believe it, but nothing's changed.
But it's not just the skeptical material. He's also a magician, but he uses old magic tricks from back in his magician days.
I like those old magic tricks.
I like them too. That's why I like Randy. He's great, but he's sort of he's doing the same thing over and over again. So not to, I'm more entertained when I see something new. So I'm not expecting to see anything new. So if I do see something new, it'll be great. Yeah, but anyway, it'll be great anyway. Randy's awesome.
I just don't know what new he could do.
Get older, then he would be like, wow, he's so old, and that makes it new.
Everyone gets old. That's not new. It's
look
at me. I'm old. Yes.
Yeah, the fact that he's old is not new. But if he got even older, then it would be the fact that he was that old would be new.
So I guess if he became older than anyone else had ever been, then it would be new.
Right.
I don't think he's on track to be the oldest man in the world. There's a lot of people a lot older than him.
Yeah. That's good, though. That means he can still talk. All right.
All right. So, in yon news, what do you got?
You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. So this is kind of breaking news, but I'm excited about this because it's one of those this is the kind of thing that you would see in like Eagle the manga, or like there's like Sanctuary, that manga where it's like, well, what do the Yakuza do? They put all the Yakuza in a cruise ship and just take it over to where the other Yakuza are.
This is the kind of awesome thing that would happen in a political manga.
Yes, like this is the first thing.
You couldn't write this in a Gekiga. You just couldn't.
But basically, what happened is Obama, this is like just breaking news, I don't have all the details yet, basically said, all right, I'm going to buy a half hour of primetime TV on every major network on October 29th, right before the election.
And
And
Isn't the
he's got
election on November
4th.
Why doesn't he buy it on November 3rd?
October 29th is probably a better day because that gives more people time to see it. And best off, it gives the media enough time to talk about it and make sure everyone's seen it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, see, it won't get around on YouTube if he does it on the...
See, I saw the news flash that was basically he bought like a half hour of prime time on, I think, NBC. And then there was a follow-up that was like he's trying to buy the same time slot on every single network. And now the current news is that he has definitely got CBS and NBC. And it says possibly other major networks. But
well, the other major networks are ABC and Fox.
now, the thing I find really funny is that, one, I realized what he's doing here. If he gets like just 2 networks, right? What are the other networks going to do? What are they going to run across from that? The
American Idol special.
No, that they don't have anything ready
Football.
like that. You realize that the ratings...
Super Bowl 2.
The advertisers in that slot who aren't with the Obama thing, though he's probably not going to even let ads happen, are fucked. And better off, he doesn't need to buy like CNN or anything because basically anyone who's not carrying
so
it,
I see. If they try to put a program on at the same time, no one will buy ads because no one will watch. Thus, the only way they can make money for that time slot is to sell to Obama or someone else with enough money.
or do the thing that I think Obama might be banking on. I bet news networks will just show the Obama thing and get permission so that they can cover it. And then basically he's bought them too. Because this is really, like, this is big news. Like, it's a big political
Would that
deal
be
here.
legal according to the campaign finance what's nuts?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I can
know.
say this, though. According to the finance law and all this stuff, the networks have to offer John McCain a similar time slot at
Wait,
the
don't
same
they have
rate.
to order, give Bob Barr a similar time slot at the
Yes,
same
no,
rate?
they have to offer it at a similar rate. However, as has been
If Bob
pointed out...
Barr's phone doesn't ring, he's going to court.
As has been pointed out by a lot of people, McCain can't afford this, and neither can anyone, because Barack Obama...
You made the same mistake as the guy in your thing of the day.
Yeah, because he's in my head. I watched that thing like 3 times. He can't afford that. Obama has so much money, but I'm actually kind of excited about this.
I
'cause
thought
this is-
if McCain just doesn't he own a bunch of houses? Isn't he rich?
No, remember, he did the public financing. There's a limit on how much he can spend, and it's being provided by the tax people. Obama has his own money. He can spend as much as he wants,
Uh-huh.
and he has a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So basically,
That he
Obama
got
gets
from
one.
Hojo.
Obama gets 1 Gekiga point in this election. He is now up 1-0 in Gekiga points.
I just wish I could have had a camera there when, the mafia guy showed up with Obama with a briefcase full of money to help him, get past the...
well, apparently Al Gore raised a bunch of money, but
Aha, so Al Gore is the... No, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense.
basically
He's not in the mafia.
McCain got a 1/4 of a Gekiga point for pulling his, let's suspend our campaigns and go save the economy. But then he lost that point when he epically failed at it, and Obama punked
I don't know.
him.
Neither one of them has impressed me by going to a bar in Texas.
No, they haven't.
Nor
However,
by eating cake.
1 Gekiga point is more Gekiga points than most men will ever achieve.
Perhaps, but
You can
neither
do more
of the,
in one day.
Neither
than it
one
takes
of
a
these
normal
men is
man
accomplished.
30 years to do.
Neither one of these men has reached that level of accomplishment.
No, but you know what? This is like he's basically all Obama has to do is stab his hand, and I'm with him.
All right.
All right, that's all I got. I can't talk more. It's all speculation. The news is basically OMG, OMG, and that's it.
Well, Scott says politics news is all bullshit, which it is. So I'm going to give you the real news, the best real news that I have seen in months, perhaps in the year of 2008, this is the best news that I've seen. You ready for this?
Okay.
I don't know if you saw this or not. Ready? There's a guy in Germany named Karl Merck, right? And he's a farmer.
All right.
And what happened was he was on the farm, and he was, as farms go, they have
this guy.
they have big machines on farms, and
This is amazing. I was going to save this for Monday, but I guess you've preempted me.
I have preempted you.
This is definitely a Monday news, but I was actually really excited about this because I didn't think we were at the point where this could be done.
Yeah. So the guy's a farmer in Germany, big machines on the farm, hit a corn shredder. Corn shredder is a nasty machine. I don't know what a corn shredder looks like or how it works.
I will Google image.
I
You continue.
imagine it is similar to a wood chipper. But anyway.
I'll say this. I've been around wood chippers, living in Michigan. I am really afraid of wood chippers.
In Connecticut, there was a famous wood chipper murder. A guy stuffed his wife in the wood chipper.
There was a Michigan wood chipper murder. He stuck his wife in a wood shedder.
And then there's a famous forensic scientist in Connecticut who works at one of the Connecticut, labs or whatever. And he investigated that, and that's sort of why he's famous. Anyway. So the guy was on the farm, rainy day on the farm, putting corn in the corn shredder. And the corn shredder stops, right? So he goes over.
So what do you not do? What this guy did?
Well, he goes, to poke at it and see what's wrong. And, it's a rainy day, so he slipped. His hand got stuck in the corn shredder. As it turned back on.
All I'm going to say is I'm looking for pictures of corn shredders. I found 2 corn on the cob shaped dildos.
Good job.
Okay, continue.
Right. And of course, his natural reflex when one hand got caught in the corn shredder was, not the thinking reflex, the muscle memory reflex, the not thinking quick reaction was to put the other hand in there to pull the first hand out. And well, as you can expect, both arms went in the corn shredder.
All right, here's a picture of Shredder. And
the Ninja Turtle shredder?
Yes, because there is also an unrelated picture of popcorn on the same webpage.
All right. The guy lost both his arms to the corn shredder. After the corn shredder shredded his arms, he was lying on the ground, basically saying, "Kill me," which is probably what I would be saying. But his friend on the farm went and got help, and he lived with no arms. And he's still alive with no arms.
Well, that's not true anymore.
Until today, or very recently, the past few days, for the first time ever, there were, 40 doctors spent 16 hours, right? Someone else must have died, and they took the dead person's arms and put them on this dude's body, and now he has arms, and he can open doors and turn the lights on and off with new arms. He can't really do anything with the hands and the fingers yet.
Yeah, and they're saying that there's a good chance he'll regain a surprising percentage of his arm functionality.
Yeah, pretty much the big worry is that his body will reject the arms, but so far it hasn't, and the outlook is as good as can be expected for the first ever dual arm transplant.
It's looking good.
It's looking pretty good. And he's he went from lying on the ground saying, "Oh God, kill me," to, "Oh my God, I have new arms. This is the best thing ever." So everyone out there who's listening, I assume that most of you have arms.
Well, first, get a wood chipper.
Well, no. Don't take your arms for granted.
Yes, I mean, seriously, I remember a time very specifically I was using a wood chipper, and it jammed. It would have been comical. You would have seen me standing 10 feet away from this thing with a long stick, gingerly poking at it.
That's right. And remember, from shop class, what are the things you learn?
My shop teacher was missing 3 fingers.
Well, in shop class, the most important thing I learned was this. Number 1 most important thing you have on your entire body. Your eyes. Don't damage your eyes. Therefore, goggles come before everything else.
Number 2, do not sand with the fucking bandsaw. What the hell's wrong with you? A kid cut his finger off in my middle school because he's sanding a piece of wood with the side of the blade on the bandsaw.
What the who's thing? All right. But
so don't do
number
that.
2 most important thing you have on your body, assuming your body.
Wait, Scott. You cut his fucking finger off.
Right, I know, right?
Okay.
Is your hands. So this guy lost number 2 on the important pieces of the body list, to not get hurt in shop class. So, Think about your arms. Don't
Yes.
put them in a wood chipper. Don't rely. You don't want to be the second person to ever have, dual arm what's it called? Replacement surgery.
You
Transplant.
want to be like the 1,000th because by then they'll be robot arms.
The outlook, though, on this is very good, I imagine, for military peoples who got blowed up.
But things of the day.
And now Rim's going back to bullshit politics again, isn't he?
I am, however, don't worry, because
I can't wait until later November, because then all people will talk about is football and all this bullshit will go away.
No, they're not, because if you haven't noticed, the economy is... I'll put it this way. I made my Mad Max joke to the one person at my job who apparently had not heard me make my Mad Max joke, and I saw a real-life rofl. Basically, we're talking about, Apple and how, like, all the stocks are collapsing, and oh my God.
And you said either Apple's going to go up or Mad Max?
Well, I said, I feel like right now, not Apple, but just in general, I should be investing all my money in the stock market. And he's like, isn't that really risky? And I'm like, oh yeah, but basically, it's not a risk at all because either it's going to go back up in the long run and I'm going to be filthy rich, or it's Mad Max and there's nothing I could have done about it. And he stops and he says, so we'll all have to wear pleather? And then we all just we all lost it. Oh my God. I believe I said, and we'll magically all still have plenty of cheap gas. Oh, I feel like I gotta watch that movie. I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid.
Isn't it on the Roku, I think?
I think it is. If it's not, oh my God, next
D&D.
D&D.
Aren't there multiple Mad Maxes? There's Mad Max and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Well, Beyond Thunderdome is what you want to see.
Two men enter, one man leave?
Oh my God.
All
okay.
right.
But my thing of the day here is not actually the politics.
It's
Don't
not
worry.
Mad Max?
The video.
What the hell we care about it for, Skip?
The video is this video someone posted in the forums of basically there's this McCain rally, right? And all these McCain people are standing in line to go see McCain. Now, I don't want to make a political statement here, but I want to point something out. Anytime you see people lined up to see Barack Obama, it's either hippies or generally attractive, hipstery 20-somethings, or old, middle-aged and uppity, middle-class liberals. You know all the types. And if you look at a McCain rally, it's fat, scary old people and young Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, no one in this line was attractive. But across the way, there's a few Obama people standing there with signs and placards, just doing their thing. And this guy just videotapes this line. And
I don't understand. I respect people's right to protest and hold signs for whatever they want, even if it's, kill babies or something crazy like that. If they're just holding up a sign, it's all cool, right?
Wait. Is it always all cool? What if I'm pro-goatsy?
That's fine. Pro-goatsy
is it?
Fine by me.
Okay, so I can have the goatsy sign outside your front door?
If I was king of the world, absolutely. I would encourage it.
All right,
you could have the 2 girls, 1 cup video sign if I was king of the world.
Scott.
What?
You haven't seen that.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at it, but you could hold it up if you wanted to. I would know what it was and look away. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here, is that if I was going to protest, and there are situations where Scott would protest and demonstrate. Right?
I have protested and demonstrated.
I have also in the past minorly. I wouldn't do it without purpose. It's like, why would you hold up an Obama sign in front of a line of McCain supporters? It's not going to have any effect whatsoever.
1, freak the squares. 2,
there are better ways to freak those squares. Give me a better one.
2, this video, because 2 is the hilarious reactions. I mean, Ron Paul dig people aside. I mean, I think Emily gave me a new term because we were talking about, our generation and how, you look at people in the previous generations who, actually fall for spam and all those things. And, we don't fall for spam. And I was like, yeah, we're much more canny than the previous generation.
We fall for Ron Paul 9/11 conspiracy theories.
And Emily turns to me and says, Rim, dig Ron Paul.
Yeah.
And I feel like dig Ron Paul, all one word, is the word for the thing that got our generation.
They also fall for, bullshit natural hippie stuff, too.
No, but not our whole generation. I feel like our generation,
pretty strong, though.
The internet generation, savvy to the internet people in our generation, dig Ron Paul is the equivalent of spam to the previous generation. But anyway, aside from the dig Ron Paul people, if you tick off a bunch of McCain Republicans, or just Republicans in general, Their responses are always hilarious and scary. But that's not, watch this video, whatever. I just want to point out that the gentleman who says something at exactly a minute 8, unintentionally hilarious, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Unintentionally hilarious only to Futurama fans, and probably only to Futurama fans in the front row crew, because you know how you'll be watching a show and there are things that everyone references from a show. For example, in The Simpsons, everyone will reference dope, right? You know what that is. Everyone will reference no beer, no TV, make Homer something something.
Go
right?
crazy.
But very few people remember a line such as zombie eats brains,
but zombie cannot swallow this injustice.
Right? So this guy references Futurama, but it's a line of Futurama that only the hardcore fan like us will recognize and associate with Futurama.
We have that Jackalope barbecue near us.
It's a coincidence. It has to be.
It can't be.
It's a coincidence.
It says, one, there's 2 Futurama. All right, I'll explain this another day. It's too much. And also, I feel like Get a Job is a really common reference, but I'm not sure. So let us know if you know what Get a Job is. But
I'm sure people know now.
Suffice to say, the guy who says Get a Job in a minute 8 is like, I don't
Matt
know what
Groening
to say.
should call him up to voice act Farnsworth if the current guy
I want
goes
to interview
out.
this guy and be like, did you know, or are you really just that guy?
He's just that guy.
Oh my God.
He waits in line with coupons at the grocery store.
So check
that are
out
expired.
that guy at a minute 8.
All right. Oh, that was your thing of the day.
Yeah, it was. You got a thing of the day?
Did we even pause after the news?
Yes.
I don't remember doing it.
There's like a 5-minute pause when I was doing something.
All right, so check this out, right? We like rice here at Geeknights. You know,
Both the eating kind and the laugh at kind.
Right, and this is an instance of the laugh at kind. Now, car modification is something that, in general, the idea of modifying vehicles is an old geek tradition. There is something truly geeky and awesome about modifying a car, right? Modifying anything for awesome is awesome. So a car, more awesome, right? I mean, hot rod culture, wicked cool in the book of geek, right? The problem is, right, is that there are some people today, they modify their cars not for good looks, not for enhanced performance.
Well, they think it's enhanced performance.
And they think it's enhanced looks, but really it is decreased looks and decreased performance, right? It's basically they do a mod to make it worse. Usually when someone does like a case mod to their computer, even if they make it worse cooling wise or something, it looks cool, right? Even, some neon lights can look cool some of the time, right? If it's just a simple mod like that. And most mods you see, like a lot of, steampunk mods are cool. The problem we have is when these people modify their cars and make them worse. They basically just ruin the cars, right? And this is where occasion, I can respect their hobby, that they have something they enjoy, but I just laugh at them because they're doing a bad job. And they think it's not that they're doing a bad job, it's that they're doing a bad job and they think they're doing a good job.
This is like the equivalent of a dude who drills holes in his RAM.
It's like the guy who tried to overclock his computer by submerging the video card in water. It's like that, right? So what we have here, right, is I'm going to explain this because it's a little complicated. It's one of those, weird forum softwares that they use on all sorts of crappy auto forums, and it's hard, the pictures are really big, and there's like 20 pages to go through to see all this stuff. So, let me give you the rundown, right? This is an auto forum, specifically LancerRegister.com. So these are people who like, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolutions, which is a very cool car, high quality car indeed. And someone on this forum went to another auto forum, ClubJapo.com, which appears to be a Spanish as in Spain, not Mexico, a Spanish Japanese, car modification forum where ricers hang out, right? And on this forum, some guy was modifying his, I believe it's a Mitsubishi Eclipse that he is modifying, right? And he's modifying it for what he says is, enhanced performance, a bajillion RPMs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Now, that's well and good. A guy modifying his, what'd I just say?
You having trouble here,
Mitsubishi
Scott?
Eclipse, right? Because the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution form, that's why it's a Mitsubishi Eclipse, right? Okay. And he's modifying this Eclipse. But there's the pictures and also videos. If you go through enough pages of the forum to find them, this incredibly long forum thread that's tedious to read. And just look at the pictures and the threads. The first pictures that you'll see on the front page tell you right away something is going on. The guy is taking a hand file and forging grooves into the heads in his engine.
What?
He says, I guess if you read some of the text in the forum, this guy thinks that these claw marks, basically, that he's hand filed into the engine will increase the flow of fuel into the middle of the, I don't know.
What?
Then there's a picture, right? And I don't know what's up with this picture, but basically he's got a grinder, like a big stone, motorized grinder. He's going across like the top of the engine, I guess, smoothing. I don't know what's going on here, but you continue through this thread, and it's basically this guy just ruining this car systematically. And at one point, they try to actually start the car, and just fuel leaks everywhere. And it is, he may not have succeeded in modifying his car the way he thinks, right? And he might have just ruined the car and wasted a bunch of money. But he's provided whatever money he spent was totally worth it in terms of the humor that has been provided to so many people looking at this thread. And even if you don't understand cars and how they work, maybe this thread will actually show you. I mean, it's sort of a bad,
You know what? I wouldn't even worry about that. This is one of those situations where you might have no idea what's going on. Like you have no comprehension at all of what is actually physically being done, like what the mechanics of it are or the rationale. But you look at it and you intuit that whatever it is a bad idea.
Well, I was going to say that, but in addition, not knowing anything about cars, this is sort of one of those learn by bad example things. You don't know anything about cars, but you see this, this is wrong. Even if you don't know it's wrong, you see it, and anyone who's not an idiot can tell this is wrong. But in the process of seeing that wrongness, you'll know what rightness is, in a way. And maybe you'll see some parts of cars you've never seen before.
Wrongness is grinding your engine up for no good reason. Non-wrongness is not grinding your engine up for no good reason.
Taking a hand file to put grooves in it for no reason. Spray painting everything blue. Spray painting the axles red. Spray painting the suspension green.
So before we go any further, I would like to say that, because I got to get this out, because I don't really want to talk about them in too much detail, but DeBellas makes them better than like anyone I've ever run into.
Almost anyone.
No, here's the thing. Other people have made better, like they have better meat. The special meat, the cured meat, all these different things. And some people have better bread. But I have never been to a place that makes sandwiches that has the level of meat combined with the level of bread.
How
at
about
the same
Italian
time.
place in Poughkeepsie?
That place is okay.
How about like Carnegie Deli? They cure their own pastrami's.
But the bread
at the Carnegie Deli is amazing.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Big fresh every day.
See, I guess I'd have to eat one of them and eat a DeBella sub within about a couple hours of each other to really know.
You want to do it?
How?
We'd go to the Carnegie Deli. You'd get on JetBlue and fly to Rochester and eat at DeBella's. It'd take a 45-minute flight.
We could.
And then fly back and eat at the Carnegie Deli again because it will win.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm throwing it down.
We should start taking donations to do the Ultimate Sandwich Challenge.
But someone else is going to give us like another place we're going to have to fly to. Like, so we're going to have to go, like, they'll say, oh, it doesn't count if you don't go to Philly to eat a cheesesteak. Oh, it doesn't count if you don't go to this place in, Seattle.
I've had better cheesesteaks in many places other than Philly.
I've never actually eaten a cheesesteak in Philadelphia, in the city of Philadelphia.
I have.
I've eaten a cheesesteak in Pennsylvania, but not Philadelphia.
I have. I was unimpressed.
Was it at one of the actual places that has people lining up in the morning?
I don't know. It was some street guy.
Yeah, I don't think that counts. I think it has to be one of the places.
One of the places. I don't know. Sometimes I see people lined up at places that suck in New York. So
that's also true. I don't know what the places are, but I'm sure if you ask around or search on the internet, you'll find what the place is.
We're talking about sandwiches.
Right, now, the thing about the sandwich, right, it's a very old and very important food, right? The sandwich is the one food that mirrors exactly the food pyramid. If you ate nothing but sandwiches, then your nutrition would be perfect. You would have mostly bread, then vegetables and fruits, then meats and dairies, and then some maybe sugars and oils. Maybe you got some salad dressing on there or something.
Molasses is last.
Yep. It's the perfect metaphor of the food pyramid in every way. And I believe that not only, because of this, the food pyramid is not just the food pyramid, it is also the sandwich pyramid. You see, the most important thing in a sandwich, as the most important thing in the food pyramid, is, of course, the bread.
And this is why, while DeBellas uses commodity meats, God, this is going to be a DeBellas head, don't worry.
Well, it's only because Rim worked at DeBellas that he,
also
I worked
because-
at Crossroads making sandwiches, and the sandwiches there were, as good as they could be. And I tried to help people out, but eventually they cracked down on me giving people too much meat.
Yeah, but it was just, all things aside, the bread counts for a lot more than the meat. Because I've had sandwiches from like kosher delis that had like some of the best meat I've ever seen. But they had the same stupid prepackaged bread that every stupid Boar's Head deli has. So as a result, the sandwich was weak.
Exactly. The bread,
DeBellas, or similar places, because there are places that are that good, use commodity meat, but they have fresh baked bread, and that counts for so much.
Right, because all right, when you have the bread is the thing that holds the sandwich together. So the bread is structural in addition to flavorful. If the structure of the bread does not hold up, the sandwich falls apart, and now you basically have a salad, right? That's no good. So the bread has to hold up. But at the same time, the bread has to taste good. You don't want it to be too hard, then it sort of hurts to eat it. It's not so good. Too soft, then it's going to get squishy. That's also no good, right? But also, the bread can't be stale. It's got to be flavorful. You got to get some sesame seeds on there, Now, you got to have a good crust, but at the same time, beyond the crust, the bread itself, you want to be very absorbent and not crusty, so all the nice juices of flavor get into the bread. Because remember, when you bite into a sandwich, if it's a proper sandwich, the bread is the first thing that touches your tongue. And most of the volume of what you are eating is going to be bread. Not mass, but
you
volume.
Realize, no, because think about the way the chewing motion goes. When you bite in and pull in and then suck into your mouth, your tongue's actually going to touch the lettuce first, most likely.
I don't know. My tongue touches the bread first. And then once you chew,
I guess it would touch
everything sort of falls out.
I guess it would touch the bottom of the bread if you stuck your tongue out before you bit in, but then you're just weird.
I guess I just put more sandwich in my mouth at once. The bread goes well beyond the tooth when I bite down.
You shouldn't go that far in.
It goes pretty far in.
You're not going to taste the bread until it gets salivated. So you're really... All right, I think we should just move on to the sandwich. Scott, I'll put it this way. If you have to make a snap decision, what's your favorite sandwich? Snap decision. Don't think about it. Just go. That's the honest answer.
One I just ate? I don't know.
Come on. What kind of sandwich? Class of sandwiches. I don't think you put nearly enough thought into your sandwiches.
No, not really. Basically, I enjoy most sandwiches. Pretty much anything that...
Wait. You don't like cold cuts. Any cold cuts.
I like kosher salamis.
That's it. You've classed out. You also don't like tuna salad and chicken salad or anything like that. You will basically not eat about half the kinds of sandwiches out there.
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
But you just said that you like most sandwiches, so I feel like we've got some cognitive dissonance here.
Any sandwich that does not include ingredients I don't like is awesome.
Yeah, that's great. You know what? Anything I don't like, I like.
Yeah, great.
Or I'm at least neutral to. All right, straight up, I like Italian sandwiches. I like capicola and like spicy ham, and I like ham and salami and all those things with a whole bunch of olives, a whole bunch of olive oil, a whole bunch of pepper, a whole bunch of oregano, a ton of mozzarella and provolone cheese. I also like it to be at least 16 inches long.
Well, longer is always better.
Well,
Ching.
See, not really.
Well, as much as you can eat, and then as you can save some for the next day.
See,
and if
'cause
it's
I point
longer than
out-
that, you cut it up and eat it with all your friends.
If you order a sub at Russo's and you say you want a large, oh my God, is that more than I can eat?
Oh, yeah.
That's more than,
That's my
like-
favorite sandwich right there.
Actually,
Russo's.
you know what? They're not that good. They're only good because they're the best sandwiches down at the beach.
I don't know. There's just something about Russo's. It's just...
You haven't had a DeBellas in long enough.
That's true. But even at DeBella's, DeBella's is so good.
I know.
At DeBella's, I would even get like those no meat sandwiches. I just get bread, lettuce, tomato, onion, cheese, and then some salad dressing. Oh, that was good.
See, the thing is, I've always been a sandwich eater. Like, from my youngest days, I was always eating fancy sandwiches. Like, I was always pushing the bar and pushing the envelope and just
Little
sandwiches,
Dagwood
sandwiches,
Bumstead
sandwiches.
action?
Yes. Oh, my God. Dagwood was kind of... I hated that comic. I thought it was terrible.
It's
but
still around. You hate that comic.
no, when I was a kid, I hated it. Now,
See, you like it now?
no, now I don't read it because I'm not stupid.
I don't read it either.
But when I was a kid, like, I would see that image, the iconic image of him eating a sandwich, And I modeled my life after that to a large degree. My life is basically Dagwood's sandwich coupled with irresponsible Captain Tyler's life.
Nah.
And that's not really a joke. That's
Is
kind of...
irresponsible Captain Tyler eat sandwiches?
No, not really, but pretty much my life is modeled 90% after him, but my eating habits are Dagwood's. At least when it comes to sandwiches.
I don't know. You don't really do the midnight snack so much.
I do, just by the nature of the life I lead.
When have you gone down and made a giant sandwich at midnight?
Well, the problem is the midnight sandwich, all it really is late at night you eat a sandwich. And I've often woke up and wanted to. The only reason I don't is that because I lead the life I do now, I can't keep enough lunch meat and bread around to make the sandwich at 4 in the morning. Especially since I wake up at 4:30.
You just make a sandwich and then go to work.
But at RIT, I would often wake up, like I'd get up and make a sandwich and go back to bed.
I don't remember that.
I would also do this often in high school. The thing is, I would not go to sleep first. I'd just be up on the computer, 2 a.m. rolls around, I make a giant sandwich, I eat it.
That did happen. Oh, man, pita pit. See, the pita...
Oh, they were open until 3 a.m.
Does the pita count as a sandwich?
No, because then we'll go on forever.
But, because if a pita counts as a sandwich, my favorite sandwich ever is basically go to any real falafel place and just get a falafel pita with everything. Don't ask them what goes in there. Just say, you want the lettuce, tomato, onion, the falafels, the dressing, the hot sauce, the french fries, anything that they're willing to put in there, anything they have to put in there, put it all in.
Well, here's the thing, actually. This is the most important advice as a sandwich connoisseur I can ever give to you. And so many people do not follow this advice and have subpar sandwich experiences. Now, I used to not be this way. It was not until I worked at DeBella's Sub Shop in Rochester along with Alex that I realized what it is that makes a good sandwich. When I realized that, remember Subway had their thing, like we have Sandwich Craftsman or whatever? Subway makes the shittest subs in the world. Like, oh my God. Subway subs are not even sandwiches as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
they're just garbage.
The thing is, it is possible to do worse than a Subway sandwich. And the thing is, they are pretty bad compared to pretty much any sandwich you'll get at a real place. They're pretty terrible. But if you're hungry and you got no choice, because even though it's a bad sandwich, it's still a sandwich. That's like, I always use the metaphor of the least smelly poop. Well, sandwich is like goals. This is like the dirtiest. A Subway is like the dirtiest goal.
See, but at the same time, eating at a Subway, especially, the way, just the life I lead now. Because I ate at a Subway a few months ago.
We ate at one when we were at
Citicon. I'm going to talk about that.
No, when we were at some Lisa and James' wedding.
Oh, yeah, I guess we did because nothing else was open.
We didn't eat at a Subway at Citicon. We ate at a Wendy's.
I don't remember. Anyway. What it comes down to is that because the sub is reminiscent, like you look at it, it's kind of like a real sandwich. It's like someone pretended to make a real sandwich. And the brain, when you bite into it, expects more because you're biting into a sandwich. Because it reminds you of the things that are so much better, and it harkens to things that are so much better, the experience is less satisfying. If you eat a shitty McDonald's burger, you don't expect anything but a shitty McDonald's burger. And I will say this now. I would rather eat a Quarter Pounder with cheese or a Big Mac than a Subway sub.
Well, I don't know about that, but actually I'm going to be honest here. I hate McDonald's. I never go to McDonald's, never buy anything there under any circumstance. And, even if it was the end of the world and McDonald's was the only food left, I probably wouldn't eat there until I was starving with, insanity.
I just go there every day for breakfast.
I still had my conscious brain, I wouldn't eat there.
I'll go there every day for breakfast and get like 2 sandwiches and some hash browns.
As much as I hate the McDonald's breakfast, if I did cave to McDonald's, I might go for the breakfast first because it is a safer bet than the rest. But I have been curious about McDonald's supposed Angus burger because my main problem with McDonald's is that the burger is not a burger. It's like some soy patty meat flavored thing that's not real. But if the Angus burger is just a piece of Angus beef put on a hot grill and then put on some bread, even if it's nasty bread, I mean, it is what it is. You can't really fake that. So if that is what I think it is, I guess I'd be willing to eat it. It's especially if it's pretty cheap.
But anyway, the point. This is the real important point here. Like,
Does a hamburger count as a sandwich?
No, because to make this show doable, we're only talking about cold stuff on normal bread.
So we're
or
not going to
subs.
talk about like a veal parm grinder.
I don't really like. I prefer chicken parm.
No,
I don't like veal that much.
no, veal's so great. It's so tender, and it's also it's a lot thinner than the chicken, but it holds together better, and it fries up with the crispiness better.
Anyway, see, all you have to do is pound the chicken, and you get almost the same effect.
Yeah, pounding the chicken helps, but hardly any places do that. So
I know a place. You want to spend $50? There's a place downtown that makes perhaps the best Italian food I've ever eaten.
where is this?
It's downtown. All I know is they filmed The Sopranos at it once, apparently.
I work downtown,
Yes, I don't remember exactly because a car service took me there and a car service took me home.
Great.
But oh my God, was that like the best Italian food I've ever eaten?
And they make the chicken parm grinder.
Apparently they pound this chicken for like 15 minutes.
Really?
Oh my God.
Wait, so here's what we're gonna do. I got some chicken in the freezer.
We gotta buy a meat pounder.
I'll take it. I'll go get a hammer. A meat. One of those. Tenderizing hammers with the
Meat
spikes.
hammer.
Yeah.
Wait, forget that. We can make a bitchin' meat car.
Oh shit.
All right. In the interest of time, I gotta get to my point. Here is it. I used to be very particular.
Here it is.
It used to be that back in the day, when I wanted a sandwich, I would think real hard. I'd want a very specific sandwich. It'd be like, I'd go to Subway, or I'd go to, actually, I much prefer a lot of other places. Like Hungry Howie's actually made really good subs. And I would be like, all right, I want wheat bread. I want ham and turkey. I want lettuce, tomato, onion, no green peppers, but I definitely want sweet peppers on half of it. And I want yellow mustard, like that kind of business.
No.
And I'd be very particular. But when I worked at DeBella's and when I started seeing like that, because you always see when a sub place, they have like, you can make your own sandwich, but then they have the sandwiches that they know how to make already. You realize that what you want to do is trust the place you're eating at. And if they do you
Hope
wrong,
it's a good place.
if they do you wrong, never eat there again because it's a shitty place.
That's
and
right.
Almost every Boar's Head deli is like that because they pretty much just make these really generic subs and they're kind of bland.
A lot of turkey sandwiches they make. It's like
Well, that's because fat people think the turkey is lean and they're gonna, lose weight and whatever. So they all get like a turkey sandwich, but then they get mayo on it.
the
And that's
turkey
the end of
that you
that.
get on a turkey sandwich at like one of those Boar's Head places is so dry and tasteless.
Oh my God.
It's slimy and disgusting processed turkey. It's like, I make a turkey sandwich with like the leftover turkey dark meat from Thanksgiving.
You realize
that's a turkey sandwich.
this is a term you probably won't know what it is, but the moist maker is where to go with that.
All right.
Yeah.
You're talking about like, giblets and necks and things?
No, the moist maker is a reference to a television show that you probably would despise.
All right.
I only know about this because someone else referenced it and then explained it to me when I didn't know what it was.
So you despise it also?
I despise the show, but I respect the moist maker.
Whatever. The
point is, if you go to a sub place and it looks trustworthy and they have a sandwich and they call it something like the Dagwood or the Godfather, order it. And if you make even one substitution, you are making a mistake.
That's right.
Because places that are good, like a real deli, they will construct a sandwich. They know more about sandwiches than you do.
They make them all day. They eat them every day.
I mean, when I worked at the stupid sub shop, they taught us how to make sandwiches for like hours and hours. And it was real important, like how to put it together. And if you substitute something, you're saying you're confident that you know more about how to make a good tasting sandwich than the person whose job it is to make good tasting sandwiches.
That's like if you go to Stephen Hawking and you're like, Stephen Hawking, I would like a theory about
I would like a
black
physics
holes."
theorem, but I want it to include rabbits
Yes.
and not stars.
And no black holes either.
Yeah, I don't like black holes.
No black holes in this one, or I pretend they don't exist.
And I see all these people, like I'll be in line at some deli in the city, and there's like a woman in front of me will be like she'll be ordering, she'll be like, I want the cold cut supreme, but I don't want any mayo on it, and I don't want any lettuce, and could you not put turkey on it, and I only want olives on it.
Why didn't you just order something different that didn't have anything you wanted to change?
And also, unless you have a very specific dislike for something in particular, like you absolutely know that you've never liked olives in anything, you're never going to like anything with olives in it, I think that makes you a horrible person, but that's what...
I don't like olives.
Well, maybe it's because I grew up in Detroit, but Greek food is important to me. Olives...
Greek food is very important to me, just not olives.
But olives are the basis.
No. Shawarma. is the basis?
Shawarma with olives.
Oh, just shawarma.
Oh, with olives. Anyway,
I need
trust
some
them.
shawarmas.
They know what they're doing.
Some gyro.
And I'll tell you what, if you just start, and also, don't be particular. Just if you're going to start making sandwiches at home and you decide you really care about sandwiches, just throw it all together and it's going to be awesome. If it's not awesome, throw it together a different way and keep throwing it together until you get something transcendent.
You know, as Rim said, you know, there are many ingredients that I am not, you know, a fan of that are on many sandwiches. You know, I'm not a fan of the cold roast beefs, even
Because
though I like the hot roast beefs, but not the
no,
cold.
it's all, here's the deal with cold roast beef.
I like the Thanksgiving turkey, but not the shitty processed turkey.
Scott, I think you've never had a real roast beef sandwich.
I don't like any hams.
And I'll tell you why. Have you ever eaten a roast beef sandwich that was, it wasn't hot, but the roast beef was brown?
Brown? No, it's usually like gray with like crusties on the
That's
side.
even worse. That's the worst roast beef.
Uh-huh.
You see, real roast beef cold sandwiches, the roast beef is red.
See, when my mom makes roast beef, you know, like hot roast beef just for dinner, here, have roast beef, it's red. So perhaps
Make a cold sandwich out of that and with some provolone
the thing is, when that meat
and some horseradish.
I don't like horseradish, but when that meat cools down, it doesn't taste so good.
Yes, it does.
But I like it when it's hot and it's just out of the oven.
Well, one, because that was your mom making cooked stuff. It's different. You should someday try a cold cut sandwich that's roast beef, but only if the roast beef is really, really red and not at all dry.
If it tastes like, you know, the roast beef that comes out of the oven, it's all good.
And you
but
have
if it's
to
like
get
the
it-
roast beef you get at like the deli aisle in the grocery store, that shit is nasty because it just
You have no taste in sandwiches. You have like oh my God.
But anyway, what I do is I agree.
Also, ham and mustard. Oh my.
I don't like mustard or
Yeah,
ham.
in fact, you know what my favorite sandwich lately is? I eat this a lot. Just get like a baguette and put ham on it. You know, just normal ham, like boiled ham, and a couple different kinds of mustard, and that's it. Oh my God, is that good?
But I agree completely with your idea that you should not change the suggested sandwiches in any way. When I go to a sandwich place, I look on the giant list of sandwiches. And if the list of sandwiches is not giant, maybe that's not the greatest sandwich place. You know, they might be focusing too much on other non-sandwich things. And thus, perhaps, sandwiches are not their specialty, and they won't be so good. So you look at the big list of sandwiches, and I just look for one, you know, the first one that has no ingredients that I have a distaste for. And I get it. And I just say, I don't need to change anything. You know, it's all good.
So pretty much, unless you're going to become one of those people who crafts sandwiches and gets really into like sandwich making, just trust other people to make your sandwiches. Let them throw it all together. If you see him just like throw something extra in there, don't worry about it.
It's weird. It's like, you know, people seem to have this like fear, like they're more afraid of like something tasting bad or not liking the taste of something or encountering an unfamiliar flavor than they're afraid of like getting hit by a car in some cases. You know, it's like, they're like, oh my God, there's olives on here. It's the end of the world. I mean, I don't like olives, but if I get olives, I just take them off. It's not, you know, if I eat one by accident, I go, an olive. I don't go, oh my God, an olive. You know, it's some people have like this. Exactly. Some people just like they have such a negative reaction to like unfamiliar or foods they don't like, you know, and encountering them. It's sort of disproportionate.
But I think we should end on this. Let's each take turns and name 3 awesome sandwiches all the way through.
All the way through?
All the way through. How to make our 3 kind of like 3.
Can I go to the pitas and everything?
You know what? If you really can't come up, well, that just means
I'll try to come up with them.
See, I think the problem is when it comes to, you know, straight up submarine sandwiches. I mean, I'm not making fun of Scott because, you know, he respects the sandwiches. He likes them, but you're kind of like the person who likes wine, but only likes a couple of wines, doesn't know a lot about it with sandwiches.
Well, it's more like if I liked wine, I only like ports, but I don't like anything else.
Yeah, I'm the person who tries every kind of wine and like remembers which ones are good and bad, and like
it's like I respect
on and
people
on about like I really like the Da Vinci Chianti.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. All right. We can.
So you can go first. Yeah, you can expand if you can't come up with a sandwich.
I could do the sandwich I just ate.
All right, let's hear it.
I didn't even know it was on that sandwich. Do we have let me go get the menu. You do a
Wait
sandwich.
a minute. I think that's a valid sandwich. The one you don't even know what was on it. All right. So here I go. Pretty much one of my favorite sandwiches ever. You take some red roast beef. This roast beef has to be so incredibly red. And you put a ton of it on there. The sandwich pretty much has to be, in terms of meat, 2/3 roast beef, 1/3 good turkey. And it can't just be like individual slices put out. You've got to basically have just this crumpled up, placed in mass of meat, like all kind of spread out, kind of airy, but in there, a lot of it. You put a little bit of lettuce, some tomatoes, some onions, some hot peppers. And I'm talking some hot freaking peppers. You got to have provolone cheese, 2 layers thick, a whole ton of horseradish, and a tiny bit of mayo on fresh bread with sesame. That is possibly one of my favorite sandwiches. Oh my God, because I didn't eat dinner yet. I think I'm going to die. Oh my God, I need some food.
Right here, let me tell you this.
Scott, I drooled all over the spit filter here.
Good job. You want to hear the sandwich I just ate?
There's drool all over my pop filter.
You want to hear the sandwich I just ate? I got the menu.
All right.
It's the menu from the Chibo down the road, the best sandwich in town, even though it's one town over. This is the sandwich I just ordered and ate for dinner. Ready? It was a roll, a circular roll cut in half, right? Nice big hearty bread they got there. It stays completely together. You know, you bite through the sandwich, it's clean the whole way through. On that roll, they put some chicken cutlet. A little chicken cutlet. Right. A little sun-dried tomato spread.
Ooh, sun-dried tomatoes.
Not like tomato sauce from a can. Not tomatoes. Sun-dried tomato spread. Broccoli rabe. Right? We're not done.
Sorry.
Yeah. Inside joke about broccoli rape.
Oh my God, is broccoli rape like one of the more inside jokes?
All right. So we're not talking just broccoli. Like, this is prepared broccoli that is a meal unto itself, a side dish unto itself, into the sandwich. And provolone. And the whole thing's hot. So hot that when I got in my car, it was steaming up the plastic thing that they had given it to me in. That's a sandwich. Oh, I'm still full.
That is a sandwich. All right, so, that aside, I like Italian subs. They're all kind of the same, but I gotta say, I like really simple, too. I really enjoy just a whole bunch of boiled ham with a whole bunch of mustard and a whole bunch of onions and lettuce and tomato. Just lettuce, tomato, onions, and ham just piled up, and a ton of brown mustard.
All right, yeah, I don't know if I had to... The thing is, basically... I really, really like the kosher salamis. And Hebrew National is the one you can get in the store, but you can actually get better than that. It's just not easy. You got to go to, special places to get that action. But if you can get the kosher salamis, you put that on just about any quality bread. And, other people like to put the mustard on it, but I don't like the mustard. But putting pretty much, anything else on there is, all right, you can throw some lettuce and cheese on there. And, well, I guess cheese sort of makes it unkosher, but whatever. Fuck you. You get some onion on there. It's all good, but that kosher salami, it alone can just carry any sandwich into the amazing territories.
All right, I think we're done because I got to go eat something or I'm going to die. This has been Geeknights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music.
Be sure to visit our website at www.frontrowcrew.com, where you'll find show notes, links, our awesome forum, a link to our Frapper map, and links to all the RSS feeds.
We say feeds plural because Geeknights airs 4 nights a week, covering 4 different brands of geekery. Mondays are science and technology. Tuesdays, we have video games, board games, and RPGs. Wednesdays are anime, manga, comic nights. And Thursdays are the catch-alls for various rants and tomfoolery.
You can send us feedback by email to geeknights@frontrowcrew.com. Or you can send audio feedback via Audio. Just click the link that says Send Me an Audio on the right side of our website.
If you like what you hear, you can catch the last 100 episodes in iTunes or in your favorite podcatcher. For the complete archives, visit the website, which has everything.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 2.5 license. This means you can do whatever you want with it as long as you give us credit, don't make money, and share it in kind. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.